Today in our studio we have Tim Kitchen, Learning Leader for Technology and Google Certified Teacher. Tim is approaching the end of his Master's in Educational Technology and is here today to share his journey. Tim, what made you want to pursue your Master's in Educational Technology?
Well, about 10 years ago, I had the opportunity to join the first online high school in Calgary, CBE Learn, and I have a tendency just to kind of jump straight in, and I didn't have a huge amount of experience at that point, and I learned a lot of high-end issues with Dreamweaver and using some video, but I didn't really have the background or the any of the readings or the big picture, so I wanted to be able to put that into a more global perspective.
I understand that Boise State was not the only university that you attended. Tell us about what led you to Boise State.
Boise State, yes. I actually started out here in Calgary with the online high school. We had a reciprocal program with the U of C, and we did a lot of amazing programs with students, student learning, personalizing learning, giving students lots of choice about what they actually wanted to do, showing their learning in lots of different ways. But then unfortunately, the first assignment that we had at the U of C was to write paper 12-point font, New Times Roman, APA style, and there didn't seem to be any negotiating with it. So I bucked down and wrote my paper, and realizing that that's part of the graduate thing to be able to write in that way. And then it came to the second paper and or second assignment, and it was also writing a paper 12-point font, New Times Roman, but except this time the bonus was it was twice as long. So I talked to my professor and negotiated doing something a little bit different. I actually produced a video conferencing course for teachers who are trying to do it with their students, and that worked out fairly well. But the final comment on my paper was, if you're going to pursue your master's, you must realize that you have to jump through some hoops, and whether you like it or not. So that kind of put me off the U of C, so I moved to Athabasca, who has a great reputation for online learning. I came to realize, though, after the first course that was based on the mid-90s when they started, and a lot of their courses were text-based, lots of scrolling, words, no videos, no images, but I did get an opportunity to do an independent study, and that was good. We got to do a research paper on basically looking at desktop video conferencing, and the evaluation that we came up with actually got published in iRoddle, which is the International Review for Distance Learning, and that was very positive. But the next course, again, was scrolling text and outdated articles. So I then found a colleague who's doing their master's at Boise and did some research, and it looked like a much better fit for me.
What effect has taking your Master's in Educational Technology had on your professional career?
I'm glad you asked that question, Avin. Basically, the position I'm in now, I'm the Learning Leader for Technology at our school, was based a lot on the work that I've been doing through my Master's, particularly at Boise State. I've recently been asked to present at a Google conference that's happening in Edmonton later this month. So, and have the opportunity to do some work outside of school as well because of the skills that I've developed through my master's. So, it's been a great experience.
An online master's seems like a very solitary pursuit. Do you feel isolated pursuing your career, your degree online?
Yeah, that's interesting, actually. Despite having an online course, professors are actually a lot more accessible online. When you ask a question, when you email them, you tend to get a much quicker response than you might in a traditional. The students that are in the course are, because everyone's on at different times, there's usually someone there who can help with questions as well, so that collaboration is there. Whereas in a traditional program, you go in to the lecture hall maybe for 3 hours, and then you maybe don't see them for a week. You're actually a lot more connected in this way. And of course, There's lots of people as well that are supporting and helping me, including my wife and my kids, my principal at my current school, and all the great professors at Boise State.
Thank you for sharing your journey with us today, Tim. Please stay tuned as Tim shares some of his headlights at Boise.
Thank you. I'll get those headlights out.